speaking of bird migration, we've spoken a lot about your specific journeys, but obviously anybody who's watching this show who's even vaguely interested in birds is familiar with the broad concept of migration. Migration is one of the most miraculous aspects of birds and birding. But I wanted to ask you a few things about paramotors and these kind of journeys that you do in relation to the great bird migrations. So I'm looking at this information here. The world's longest bird migration, the Arctic Tern. These birds fly an average round-trip distance of 90,000 kilometers per year, pole to pole, from Greenland to the Weddell Sea and back again. What I'm interested in is, I don't know anything about this, but a paramotor, how far can I know that you crossed the channel and that was a fairly record-breaking flight. How far can a paramotor go, realistically, over water before you'd need to stop and refuel and all those things?
Well, I suppose the paramotor doesn't mind whether it's over water or over something else. The only thing is, if you have an engine failure, then you're definitely landing in the water. So that's a bit of a challenge. How far you can go at the moment really depends on how much weight, how much fuel you can carry on your legs and run. So you could put 3 wheels on and be a little trike, and then you could take off with a bit more. Unfortunately, I don't pay enough attention to the sport and the records, but somebody has gone over 1,000 kilometers in a paramotor, but that's with people helping them to take off. So someone on either side running along beside them, helping them to run before they actually get off the ground. Not very far. The Arctic Tern is a bit of a superstar, and I'm not even gonna try.
So the human Arctic Tern, okay, that's off the table. The next one I wanted to ask you about. So the record for the longest non-stop flight of any bird is the bar-tailed Godwit, and that's an individual was clocked at flying over 11,000 kilometers without rest from Alaska to New Zealand, 9 days non-stop, which is kind of mind-blowing. But what's the longest amount of time you flew on your journey without stopping?
Oh, God, this is just putting me to complete shame. 3 hours and 15 minutes, I think. And that was when I actually ran out of fuel and landed. And that was way longer than I would have wanted to. To be honest, as a human being, birds are flapping and creating heat while they're flying, generally, unless they're thermaling, I suppose, and then they're in a warmer place. Would have been so cold. When you're not moving, it's quite hard to get enough movement going on to stay warm long enough. So Give me 2 hours max at a time. Okay, so human bar-tailed Godwit, that's out. All right, next one. Sorry.
I'm just checking off all these lists. Next one. I mean, no, this hasn't been exactly verified, but for example, the highest altitude migrations, there are climbers on the summit of Everest who've looked up to see bar-headed geese flying overhead, so higher than Everest. What's the highest that you can realistically fly in a paramotor?
You can fly. Oh God, I should have checked these numbers. You can fly until oxygen is too low for you personally, or for the engine itself. If you have an electric motor, then you don't have that same issue. So high, thousands of feet. So in Colombia, I flew at 7,000 feet, and somebody has apparently flown over Everest. So bar-tailed Godwit is the closest yet. Right.
So that one could happen. So human bar-headed goose.
Sorry, no.
Human bar-headed goose.
Bar-headed goose, yes. Bar-headed goose is a possibility.
Possible. Okay, I'll mark that as possible. And one more, I promise. This is a surprise to me. The fastest long-haul flight. So we know that the fastest bird clocked on the wing is the peregrine falcon, but the fastest long-haul flight, surprisingly, the Great Snipe, recorded to reach speeds of up to 97 kilometers per hour. Yeah, 97 kilometers per hour over a distance of 6,800 kilometers. And this is without relying on tailwinds, apparently, which is kind of amazing. What kind of speeds do you get up to on a paramotor?
I thought we were going to be able to incorporate tailwinds because, as you go up, I'd love to know what altitude they were at. So as you go up, the winds get stronger and they also shift direction slightly. So actually, the fastest speed I got at altitude on Fly the Swans was 111 kilometers an hour. And at that time, I was thinking, I really hope on the ground the wind speeds are nothing like this. But that was with a 40 kilometer an hour tailwind.
Oh wow, such a 1.5 birds too.
Okay, so human Great Snipe, possibility.